Hello my sweet friends, welcome back. We are here with our final TBR video for the year, which is crazy to me. Last month I used this TBR jar to choose the books that I wanted to read, and I feel like I just had so much more fun doing it this way. Something to kind of switch it up a little bit made it a really fun experience, so I think I'm going to use this again. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't say last month I followed my TBR very successfully. I did an okay job, but like not great. I picked 12 books using the prompts from the jar, and I ended up reading 5, so like not awful, but not exactly amazing. So we're gonna try again, and I want to really try and read my whole TBR this month. So I think I'm gonna pick out 10 books using the prompts from this jar. If you don't know how this works, basically I just pick a random piece of paper out of this jar and it will have a prompt. So it's not telling me exactly which book I need to read, but it will give me a prompt, which I just prefer because I am a mood reader. So I do want to have like some sort of choice involved, not just like randomly picking out the exact book I have to read. So this works for me. And of course, I'm not the first person to do this. I'm not trying to take credit for it, but it was really fun doing this. So let's pick out some new prompts for December. I also rearranged my bookshelf a little bit. So most of my unread books are these bottom 2 shelves here, as well as some that you can't see on my other little bookshelf. And also all the white stickers on my books just means that it's a book I haven't read. I always get questions about why there are white stickers on my books. Okay, prompt number 1. Flowers on the cover. Okay, this is actually perfect. I'm so happy I got this one because I know exactly which book I want to read. This is so perfect. I'm so excited. The first book on my December TBR is Some Kind of Perfect by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the epilogue novel, epilogue. I always feel weird saying that word, I don't know why. The epilogue novel from the Addicted/Calloway Sisters series. I read the last 2 like proper novels last month, and so this is the only book I have left, and I would really love to finish this series this year, just to kind of end out the year completing a series. It just kind of feels nice. So she's chunky, but I'm so excited. Prompt number 2. A cozy read. Ooh, what even is a cozy read? Nothing is really sticking out to me as being cozy. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with this one. This is called While You're Reading by Ali Berg and Michelle Callis. I'm not exactly sure, but does this not give you cozy vibes? Has a little takeaway coffee mug on the front. It's giving I'm sitting in a cafe reading my book vibes. I'm pretty sure this is it a romance? Yes, a love story for book lovers that celebrates much more than romance. Okay. I honestly have no idea what this is about. I've heard no one talk about this. I've heard no reviews on it. I just saw it in a thrift store a long time ago. I think I've had this on my bookshelf for way too long at this point, but it's looking like it could be a cozy romance. Honestly, again, I have no idea. Watch this make me like sob and cry and just rip my heart to shreds. A 29-year-old looking for a fresh start moves across the country for this fresh start, but it looks like it's not working out the way that she wanted it to. But then she stumbles across a secondhand novel inscribed with notes. Besotted with the poetic inscriptions, Bea is determined to find the author, and along the way she finds herself entangled in one hell of a love quadrangle. Interesting. I honestly don't have high expectations for this book, but I am very interested to see how it goes. Next, book number 3. Buy yourself a book from your wish list and read it this month. This is probably the best prompt there is. Do I need to buy it like right this second, right now? Let's see what's on my wish list. Actually, I know exactly which book I want. Dolly Alderton's new book came out, and it's a hardback. It's stunning. It's called Dear Dolly. I'm pretty sure it's non-fiction, and it's a collection of her favorite Dear Dolly letters and answers from her hugely popular Sunday Times column. How fun. I'm gonna order this. That was such a great prompt. A gift from me to me. I guess December is the month of giving, you know, and receiving, kind of. Prompt number 4. Ooh, okay. A book you don't know anything about plot-wise. I do honestly feel like I know a little bit about most of the books that I own. These are the 2 that stick out the most to me. Last month I read my first Alice Oseman novel, which was Loveless, and I did really enjoy it. It was really interesting and just a really sweet story, and everyone was like, you need to read Radio Silence, so I bought it. I don't know what it's about. I'm assuming it's another like YA coming of age situation. I don't want to read the back of it because then I'll know something about it, but this is one option. And then the other option is this one, which I thrifted a couple months ago. It's called The Disreputable History of Frankie Landobanks. And it's by E. Lockhart, who is also the author of We Were Liars. I really don't know which one I want to read. I am going to go with... I think I'm going to go with Radio Silence. Okay, I'm going to go with Radio Silence. And I don't have any reasoning why. It's just calling my name a little bit more. Prompt number 5. A book starting with S. Let's hope I have one. Oh, okay. There's one that sticks out to me straight away. I don't know if this is cheating a little bit, but this is The Summer of Broken Rules. I really wanted to read this in summer. Moving into December, we are now officially in summer here in Australia. And yes, it does technically start with a T. Whenever I have titles that start with that word just doesn't count. So I'm gonna add this. I am so excited to read this. I just feel like I've heard so much about it, and I also know the author is coming out with another book. I think it's next year. I don't think it's anytime super soon, but I definitely want to read this because everyone just seems to love it, and I just hope I absolutely adore it. And I hope it gives me those like major summer vibes that I'm in desperate need of. Number 6, a popular booktube book. Ooh, I feel like there are quite a few options for this one. My books are all falling down. Let me quickly restack. I think I'm gonna go with The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I've been wanting to read this for so long, and it's also on my end of year TBR. Like, I'd really love to read it before the end of the year, so this might be a good opportunity for that. I know this is also a very popular BookTok book, but I feel like a lot of the booktubers that I watch have also read this or also loved it, so I'm gonna say it can be a booktube book. Sometimes, a lot of the times, there is definitely crossover between popular BookTok and booktube books, so I'm gonna go with this one. I'm really nervous to see if I like this because I tried to read Throttled a couple months ago, did not love it, didn't hate it, just didn't love it, just like didn't care about the characters, about the storyline, and I'm just nervous that because it's the same author, I might have the same experience, but who knows? I could be so wrong. I could love this. I hope I do. Okay, number 7. Ooh, thriller/mystery. I do not read a lot of thrillers or mysteries, but I think I know exactly what I feel like picking for this one. All of my thrillers and mysteries are behind the camera, so you guys can't see them, but I'm gonna go with The Girls I've Been by Tess Sharp. This has been on one of my previous TBRs, and I didn't get to it, don't know why, because I am genuinely so excited about this concept. It's YA, I don't know if it's thriller or mystery, but it's one of the two. And it is about a con artist's daughter who gets caught up in a situation. That's all I really know. I just love YA mysteries and YA thrillers. I think they're just such a fun time, and I'm expecting this to be just super quick, fast paced, just a good time. Number 8, we only have a few left. A book with a romance subplot. So that means it can't be like an actual romance. Should I go for a fantasy book? If it's fantasy romance, is the romance considered a subplot or no? That was actually so much harder than I thought it would be. I feel like I have a lot of like romance books, and then things that aren't romance, I don't know if they have a romance subplot because I just like don't know enough about the book. So I don't know if this is cheating, but I'm gonna go with Kingdom of the Wicked because I know it's a fantasy book, but I'm pretty sure it's like a fantasy romance. But in my head, fantasy romance is basically fantasy with a romance plot. Subplot. Surely it can be considered a subplot because I'm pretty sure the main girl is trying to like, I don't know if it's like save her twin, get revenge for her twin sister. I don't know. But I know there's romance in this, but I also know that there's obviously fantasy and like a main plot. So I'm gonna go with this. It's a series that I've been wanting to try for quite a while. I don't know if it's gonna be for me. I've heard very mixed things about it, but I'm gonna try it out. It's one of the few times where I haven't bought the whole series before starting it. Like I only have the first book, so at least if I don't like it, I haven't like wasted all my money buying the whole trilogy. But we'll try out the first book, we'll see if we like it, and we'll see if I continue the series afterwards. Number 9, second last prompt. A book you haven't heard many reviews about. I don't usually buy a lot of books without knowing much about them because obviously if I hear great reviews about a book, it makes me want to buy it. Like that's usually why I buy books, because I've heard great things. However, I think I'm gonna go with Kyland by Mia Sheridan. I just really love Mia Sheridan. She is the author of Archer's Voice, and I've slowly been making my way through her backlog, and I haven't really heard many people talk about this. I have heard a couple people talk about it, but not many. I feel like this works with this prompt. I think this is kind of academic rivals to lovers because it's about 2 teenagers in a small town both working to get the same scholarship, I think, but there's only one scholarship and they're both kind of like, I guess, competing for it. And I think they might fall in love in the process, but I think they're both from pretty difficult home situations, so they're really desperate to get this scholarship. So it sounds like a really interesting premise, and I'm really intrigued to see how it goes. 10th and final prompt is going to be yes. Okay, this is exactly what I wanted. A book that is part of a series. There is one specific book that I really, really want to get to this month, and that is Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home by Jessa Hastings. This is the third book in the Magnolia Parks universe, and the next book comes out this month. I think it's 15th of December. I'm so excited. It's the next Daisy Hates book. I could cry. I'm that excited, but I haven't finished this. I have started this, but I haven't finished it yet. So this is the perfect excuse to fulfill this prompt, and I'm very excited that I can include this in my TBR because I was going to read it this month either way. I've definitely been putting this book off for a few reasons. One is because at this point, this is the last book in the series. I know there are going to be so many more books in this universe, but right now, this is the newest release. And I just knew that I would be so sad about completing the series. So I was really dragging this one out so that I just wouldn't be without a new book. But ever since the release date came out for Daisy Hates, and I know that it's coming out in like a couple weeks, I feel like I can read this now because there'll be something else coming, if that makes sense. And also, this is one of those books that I want to very heavily annotate and just spend a lot of time just like soaking up every single word. And I just haven't had the time recently to be this dedicated to a book. And I think I'm gonna have the time this month. I'm gonna make the time this month, really. And also, I just know this is gonna break my heart. I've already started it. It's already broken my heart once, and I am nervous for it to do the same thing again because I think it will. Okay, there are some very highly anticipated books in this stack, so I'm excited to really try and focus on actually completing and sticking to my TBR because, like I said, didn't do a great job of that last month. I'm really determined to do it this month though, so we'll see how we go. A very quick summary or recap. My first prompt was a book with flowers on the cover, so we have Some Kind of Perfect. For a cozy read, we have While You Were Reading. The book that I chose to buy off my wish list is Dolly Alderton's new book, Dear Dolly. For a book that I don't know anything about the plot, we have Radio Silence. A book starting with S, we have Summer of Broken Rules. A famous booktube book, we have The Fine Print. For a thriller / mystery, we have The Girls I've Been. For a book with a romance subplot, we have Kingdom of the Wicked. A book that I haven't heard many reviews about is Kyland. And for my final prompt, a book that is part of a series, we have Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This jar just makes things so much more fun. Make sure you subscribe so that you can see all my future videos and my December wrap up so you can see which of these books I actually read and what I thought about them. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.